So today we're going to be removing this SC Project muffler. We're going to be installing a LeoVince Factory S carbon fiber slip-on exhaust. You're going to need the R&G mounting bracket. Mounts where the passenger peg goes here. So thanks R&G for sending these over to help us get this exhaust installed. All right, so we got everything unboxed here for the exhaust. We've got your directions, a spring puller, the exhaust clamp right here, the muffler, another bracket that's going to get attached to this one. We have our mid pipe. We have the muffler right here. So we're going to start with the mid pipe. So right now we're going to just leave everything loose and we'll go back and tighten everything up when we're done. So we're just going to set that on there for right now until we get where it needs to sit when all the brackets are on there. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to mount the bracket where the passenger foot pegs used to be using the hardware that R&G provided for the bracket. We're actually just going to take a couple drops of Loctite. I always like to use Loctite on anything exhaust related. And this is going to be a 5mm hex head. So I'm just lightly threading them in there by hand, and then we'll use a tool to tighten everything down. All right, so we got these in there all the way. We're going to go through with our wrench and we're going to tighten them down so they don't come back out. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slide this in place, nice and easy. So now that we've got everything unpackaged, we have our bracket right here. The elongated side, this is going to go up onto the R&G mounting bracket here. So what we're going to do is we put the collar onto the screw. We're going to use just a little bit of Loctite on this so that we don't lose our bolts here. And what we're going to do is we are going to just loosely set everything around the exhaust. We are going to pull the bracket upwards and through, and we're going to put our washer on there and then our nut. So now that everything is on there, what we can do is we can go through and we can start tightening everything up. The way I like to do it is we're going to actually start down here and we're going to work our way up. Go ahead and hook one side, grab the other side with your spring puller, and careful not to scratch the exhaust, and just pull it out like that. And we'll go through and we'll do the bottom one now.
Well, there you go, guys. The LeoVince exhaust is on. This exhaust is going to get reviewed right now. Let's get on the road. Today's one of those gorgeous days in San Diego. Everyone's out. And there are a lot of cops out too, because they know that it's a nice day and people are going to be twisting the throttle. Lots of motorcyclists out today, including myself, the biggest squid in San Diego. Speaking of riders, there's a Touareg right there. All right, let's get the big cat out of the bag. We could not get the silencer off. Brent even took out his tools to try to chisel away, but for some reason, the bolt was welded directly into the silencer, and we're not exactly sure why. But I think it has something to do with emissions. They kind of force you to keep it. If you can try hard enough to get this thing off, you probably can. As far as the sound characteristics of the exhaust, I want you to watch some of my previous videos where I had the stock exhaust on for a little while. With the current way the exhaust is installed, with the baffle in there, silencer, baffle, whatever you want to call it, I would say that it's about 50%, 60% louder than the stock exhaust. If you're looking for a quieter exhaust, but something louder and more aggressive than the stock one, then I think I found the one for you. This exhaust is perfect for that guy who wants to put it on his RSV4 and doesn't want to bother his neighbors. He lives in a very quiet suburban neighborhood, and if he wants to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and ride his RSV4 because why not? He wants to. Then this can be turned on without annoying anyone. Your neighbors will not hate you. The exhaust is not ear-bleeding loud. It's got the right amount of aggression for the road without annoying people while you're next to them. With my SC Project exhaust, people were getting annoyed sometimes. And you know, if you drive by them, they close their windows because, well, the exhaust is very loud. And that's very understandable. There are times where I appreciate something like this, and then there are times where I appreciate something like my SC Project. There are times where I just want to ride, but I don't want to be like super aggressive and loud and in your face. And something like this is really, really nice. Don't get me wrong, whenever you're pushing the bike and you're going really fast, it will bark and bite and snarl just like any aftermarket exhaust would. And I'll demonstrate that for you guys in a little bit. But in terms of like being like that 24/7 right out of the gate, this is not that type of exhaust. Hello. Little boys, they love this bike. And yes, you just witnessed me riding the bike without hands. That's one of the coolest things ever on a 200 plus super bike. The ability to put it on cruise control. Oh, come on, it just does not get better than this, man. These bikes are absolutely awesome. You can take it to a track day event, go as fast as humanly possible, and then the following weekend, take it on a cruise like I am right now, and through the coast. And talk about that brand new exhaust that you just put on. Yes, my friends. Meanwhile, a straight road comes along, and you put it on cruise control. Take your hands off the wheel, and let the bike do its magic while you enjoy the scenery. Ah, life does not get better, my friends. Anyway, back to the topic at hand, the exhaust. So yeah, like right now we're in a suburban neighborhood. This is kind of like the city-ish area of Encinitas. And so in a neighborhood like this with my SE project, you will get noticed. But with an exhaust like this, you can kind of roll through the neighborhood and not bother anybody because you're just another motorcycle. And that's totally fine. You look like a race bike, but you don't sound like one. That's the difference. As far as the idle is concerned, a couple of people were saying that the shorty exhaust that I had, it gives it like a lumpy idle. And they might be right, because with this longer exhaust, as you can see, it's really long. I don't have that lumpy idle that I did have on my SE project. But as you can see, the idle, it's not going up and down. But with the SE project, the shorty can. That does happen quite often, actually. I kind of like it because if you ever heard a cammed V8 Mustang or just any V8, American V8, it sounds similar to that. So I like it. It doesn't really bother me much. And from what I can tell, I don't think it's hurting the engine. It's just a different thing, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. But just thought I'd point that out, because with these longer exhausts, you don't get that. Riding at 42 miles an hour, I do hear it on my right side, but it's not, like I said, overly aggressive, but it sounds like a deep, bassy sound. But whenever you do give it the full beans effect, the full beans petro effect, let me give this guy a little bit of room while we do that once again. Yeah, it gets aggressive. You can hear it snarl. Love that shit, man. Damn, did I tell you guys it's such a beautiful day? San Diego's been having like 3 months of torrential rain. It's been crazy, man. So unlike San Diego, it almost feels like I'm back in the East Coast. But it's nice. It's nice to get like clear weekend days. You take out the whip and whip it around. Yeah. The more I ride with this exhaust, the more I like it. It's not obnoxious, man. The SC is very loud, very aggressive, super obnoxious, and sometimes you want it to like kind of quiet down. And this exhaust, even though it has a baffle, it's not super loud, but when you give it the full beans, it wakes up. It wakes up properly. As far as aesthetics are concerned, I don't exactly know what this thing weighs, as I mentioned before, but I'm gonna highlight it on the screen. But if you're a big fan of like the long exhausts and you don't like the small little shorty ones, then this exhaust is for you, because it's wrapped in carbon fiber. The only thing I wish is that if it matched the other carbon pieces by being glossy, but that's totally okay, because it still looks stunner. Let's squeeze through here. Woo! That was a tight fit, but we made it. Let's go. Chill out. Tons of cops out today. I forget sometimes how fast this bike is, man. How is this bike legal to buy? Oh my god. Good lord. I hope you guys could hear what the exhaust sounds like, or maybe you just heard all wind. I won't know until I watch the video back. If you like carbon fiber, if you like an Italian company for an Italian bike, then this exhaust is for you. And I think from what I saw on LeoVince's website, it's probably half the price or somewhere near there of an SC Project. Anyway, the next exhaust that I have is going to be similar to the SC Project. So we're going to be back to loud and obnoxious. And quite frankly, I can't wait. Because I like my bike loud and obnoxious. I'll be honest with you guys. I really like it that way. Especially something like this, man. Come on. 200 plus horsepower. You can't ride this bike in a quiet manner. But 200 horsepower and you got cruise control. Check this out, man. What other bike on the market has this? Well, I think S1000RR has it. But the S1000RR is kind of like, well, I don't want to say anything negative about it. You know, actually, it's not negative. It's kind of like a mature person's leader bike, if you want to call it that. You know, BMWs are usually for mature people that are not hooligans like me. You know, I'm just a squid. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think BMWs are awesome bikes, and that's the only other super bike. What's up, bro? I think that dude was taking a video of me. He was like, "Damn, look at that dude riding without hands. I didn't know you could do that." Well, yeah, you can. The hate I'm gonna get for riding with no hands. I can't wait for your comments. Go ahead, say anything you want. I don't care. But I'm having fun, my friends. I am having fun. You can say anything you want. Bring the hate. Nah, I'm sure you guys love me. Nobody hates me on this channel. I get lots of love from you guys everywhere I go. Whether it's a track day event or I see you guys on the street, thank you so much for supporting me. I really appreciate it. My fans are the best.